I have big plans for November. But before we do that, let's jump in the craft room and see what I did in October. I cast on some knitting. This one here is becoming a mushroom for my daughter's birthday, as she requested. I spent some time knitting in the waiting room to get my wisdom teeth out. My film project was my big one in October, so this is me loading up a fun camera called the Blackbird Fly with a fun cinematic film, which I cannot wait to get developed. I think I've got about 5 photos to take. My kids got creative too. My 16-year-old made this jig to create air dry clay bricks to create a model house, which was really fun. It was kind of a fun project for him, but also will count towards design and tech for his homeschool. It was actually a really creative solution. I had big plans. I went to the op shop to pick up some fabric I had seen and came up with something else. I started a new quilt to make for a friend. And then my big project this month was walking oceans to Outback for the Royal Flying Doctors. This is my view at home. I cast on yet another new project while I was sitting at archery for the contest. And then I flew to Sydney for the long weekend. Came home, got some more film for my Holga Mini. This one is, it's 110 film, it's called. So it's a super fun, tiny little camera, very simple. Played with some digital art inspired by my trip to Sydney. I still feel like I need to revisit this one. Went to Bunnings with the kids because we needed projects. I did sketchbook revival this month, so I actually completed that journal. There is a flip through on my channel. I'll be sure to share that with a link. You can check that out. And this is one of my collage pages. Harder Day project continues apace. I was running out of base cards, so there was definitely a bit of a catch up there, and plenty of junk journaling this month with everything that was going on. My new film made it into the journal. The quilt that I made for my friend was a really important project this month, so I saved all my offcuts and included that. So a little peek in my process. We played games, so Catan is always a favourite of ours. We play games every Saturday night for family time. My second son now has his license, so I'm now relegated again to the back seat, which makes for bonus knitting time. We're off on an adventure. We like to go out for lunch on Sundays. Sketchbook revival continued to be my big project. I was prepping a window page for one of the classes. I did some labeling with my Cricut, tidying up my pantry, rearranging my craft room. It's been a big month of cleaning and organization. More sketchbook revival. Are you sensing a theme here? It was a really fun class to push me out of my more knitting. It's one of my favorite things to do while I'm teaching school, so you can hear me talking there. More of that cleaning and organizing in the craft room, actually applying those labels. So I changed out yarn tools drawer for a paint drawer. Sunday afternoon, watching a movie and knitting. Everyone had taken over the lounge room, so I ended up on my bed just to find some quiet space, just to chill out and rest for a bit. And then my knitting came with me to the markets to help out for Scouts. Miss 14 has also been very creative. This is a school project. We went shopping at Spotlight, got some more storage. Still more knitting. This is actually unknitting when I realized I'd mucked up my stitches. I finally came up with a plan for my Frocktober dress at the last minute. So the day before the event, I'm actually still prepping my pattern. It ended up being a total fail. It was a fun project. It was a fun experiment. I'm really sad it didn't work out. But yeah, I ended up wearing a dress that I made a couple of years back for a wedding, but it was absolutely a manic day trying to get everything done because I am a shocker for leaving things to the last minute. I played around with some jelly printing for a bigger collage project that I made, inspired by a photo that I did take in Sydney. It's been ages since I've had my jelly plate out, and I had lots of fun playing and experimenting with it. This Cricut cut is also part of that collage. It became a diorama, and these are the frames that I then attached my collage jelly cuts to. Um, it was really fun to experiment with different ways of making art. More label making, so much label making this month, just really trying to get on top of organization. We've lived in our house for 12 months now, and working out how we actually live in this space. And then tried something new this month. I bought some macrame, and so I wanted to make a hat holder for our laundry. It was really fun to try something new and learn that new muscle memory that the knots require. And then to wrap up the month, I started work on some projects ahead of Advent. I've got some ideas for Christmas projects. Needs a bit of lead time, so I'm starting that early. And that was October.